So moving to step 10 in the guidebook on page 36. I'm going to read out of the big book on page 84 one sentence that convinces me that we began this life, the part of our new life at step 9. We vigorously commenced this way of living as we cleaned up the past. It's kind of like right in the middle of page 84. This brings us to step 10, which suggests we continue to take personal inventory and continue to set right any new mistakes as we go along. We vigorously commence this way of living as we clean up the past. We have entered the world of the Spirit. Our next function is to grow in understanding and effectiveness. We're in the world of the Spirit. Now we need to understand it better and be more effective at it. It's not an overnight matter. It should continue for our lifetime. Continue to watch for selfishness, dishonesty, resentment, and fear. When these crop up, we ask God at once to remove them. We discuss them with someone immediately and make amends quickly if we have harmed anyone. Then we resolutely turn our thoughts to someone we can help. Love and tolerance of others is our code. And we have ceased fighting anything or anyone, even alcohol. For by this time, sanity will have returned. We will seldom be interested in liquor. If tempted, we recoil from it as from a hot flame. We react sanely and normally, and we find this has happened automatically. We see that our new attitude toward liquor has been given us without any thought or effort on our part. It just comes. That's the miracle of it. We are not fighting it, neither are we avoiding temptation. We feel as though we had been placed in a position of neutrality, safe and protected. We have not even sworn off. Instead, the problem has been removed. It does not exist for us. We are neither cocky nor are we afraid. That is our experience. That is how we react so long as we keep in fit spiritual condition. It's easy to let up on the spiritual program of action and rest on our laurels. We're headed for trouble if we do, for alcohol is a subtle foe. We are not cured of alcoholism. What we really have is a daily reprieve contingent on the maintenance of our spiritual condition. Every day is a day when we must carry the vision of God's will into all of our activities. How can I best serve thee? Thy will, not mine, be done. These are the thoughts which must go with us constantly. We can exercise our willpower along this line. All we wish, it is the proper use of the will. Much has already been said about receiving strength, inspiration, and direction from Him who has all knowledge and power. If we have carefully followed directions, we have begun to sense the flow of His Spirit into us. To some extent, we have become God conscious. We have begun to develop the vital sixth sense, but we must go further, and that means more action. Step 10 in the guidebook, page 36. Continue to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. Our fourth and fifth steps gave us a lesson in listening to our emotions, mainly fear and anger. Using this method of exposing our selfish motives, we now use the same method on a daily basis. Remember that in step 4, our resentments are like the lights on the dashboard. They alert us to a condition where we are dependent on things in life that are not right. They tell us the truth about what we're really trying to do. And we learned that in step 4. In the 12 and 12, it says, it is a spiritual axiom, back in the guidebook, that every time we're disturbed, no matter what the cause, there's something wrong with us. Our anger and fear are always symptoms of some sort of self-centered condition in us. We have entered the world of the Spirit. Our next function is to grow in understanding and effectiveness. This is not an overnight matter. It's never intended to be an overnight matter. It's a new way of life. It should continue for our lifetime. Continue to watch for selfishness, dishonesty, resentment, and fear. When these crop up, we ask God at once to remove them. We discuss them with someone immediately and make amends quickly if we have harmed anyone. Then we resolutely turn our thoughts to someone we can help. Love and tolerance of others is our code. And we've ceased fighting anything or anyone, even alcohol. We have not even sworn off. You know, I know an AA guy that says his treatment of his alcoholism is no longer his business. Drinking is not his business. His business is living this 12-step program in spiritual fitness. Whether or not he ever drinks again is none of his business. And I think that's what we're reading right here. We're not cured of alcoholism. What we really have is a daily reprieve contingent on the maintenance of our spiritual condition. So in our step 10 inventory, we do exactly what it just said. We continue to watch for selfishness, dishonesty, resentment, and fear. So when we're going through our day and we catch ourselves all twisted up, our old way of life was to, think that we're justified and it's good that we're screaming at somebody probably and they deserve it and all that kind of stuff. And the new way of life says, man, you're in the middle of this, you're yelling at somebody and you think that it's right, but you know what? In 30 minutes, you're going to stop and think about this and see that it wasn't right. Now, but it might take 30 minutes and it's going to happen here and there. That's why we don't pretend that it's not going to happen. It does happen. But we have a way of dealing with it. We try to keep it as to the minimum. We ask God at once when we do have selfishness, dishonesty, resentment, and fear. When these crop up, we ask God at once to remove them. We discuss them with someone immediately and make amends quickly if we have harmed anyone. Then we resolutely turn our thoughts to someone we can help. Love and tolerance of others is our code.